Hello friends, Namaste. Here's another video which is Research Methodology for Beginners Part 2. We have already discussed in Part 1 about the research methodology, the process, the 6 steps which has to be followed. And those who are following my channel, viewing the videos would be aware that various process which we have discussed were problem definition, second is the literature review, third is the research design, fourth is the data collection, fifth is the data analysis, and sixth is the conclusion report writing. So according to the second step of a research process, literature review is very important and which becomes a hurdlesome for many beginners, especially undergrad students, to understand why it is important because they feel reading or getting deep into any article is very difficult for them to understand the research methodology terms if they are using some journal articles, trying to find out the research gaps from which the research problem statement is being identified. So I was discussing that this particular video is for the beginners. Let us talk about in a simple way why literature review is important and the easiest steps of doing the systematic literature review. When we talk about literature review, it acts as a secondary data. Okay, so in research, there are two categorically data, which is primary data and secondary data. These categories of data helps us to lay the foundation of the research work, especially the secondary data. If your knowledge, if your content is concrete enough, your building will stand strong. So secondary data helps you as a researcher to understand what other researchers have done, what they have not done, which you would like to study in your study. So whatever is recommended by the author in their journal articles can be taken up as a research gap for your further study. So that becomes your problem statement. So here in this slide, if you see secondary data are through various sources. That is journals, newspapers, magazines, government records, various websites which you search, and books. So secondary data is basically the published data, which is the primary data of some other authors. So those published data becomes your secondary data based on which you define the research gap and come up with the problem statement for your study. So if you see here, the government departments data, that is the statistical data which you require to identify what is the need in the market. Okay, and such type of data are called as white paper. Okay, and whenever you are going for a literature review, which will be either told by your guide, by your teachers, that you should have some reliable content. So when I say reliable content, do avoid going through various personal blogs which are not being reviewed by third parties. Concentrate more on scientific journal articles, more on newspaper articles, magazines which are reviewed, peer reviewed. Okay, so reviewing means that it has gone through some stages of screening process where some other people review their work and then it gets published. Even all the statistical data of government or the private bodies are reviewed by a second agency and then it is published. Videos, weblogs, blogs can be your later secondary sources, but for having a good base, good knowledge, look in for scientific paper articles. So there are various search engines which are available for you to get into literature review. If you see here, I have mentioned some search engines. The prominent easiest one are ResearchGate. So log in, become a member of it, and later on with your keywords, the topic title which you have identified, type in there and search for the journal articles or book chapters, whatever the author has given open access to you. Now I'm using the word open access. Open access means it is easily available to any public. If it is restricted access, it will have a lock type of icon where it will be like you need to request to them or through your university, your college login, institution login, you will be able to see. So ResearchGate is there, Scholar, that is Google Scholar is there, online library wiley.com is there, academia.edu is there, free full PDF. So a free full PDF is a meta search. It acts like a Google search. When you type there, then it will take you to various websites. Ebook Central Proquest is there. So in many of the libraries you'll find it. Then Ibesco Host is there. SSRN is only the abstract related articles you'll find. Then Semantic Scholar is there, and you can search in for national digital libraries of your country. So when I was talking about making your life simple in telling you the easiest way of doing literature search, I will not use the jargon words. I will tell you some simple steps to follow when you browse in through these various websites which I have told you. The easiest thing, if you are not able to remember these website name, what you can do is log into google.com. First of all, you need to know what is the title you're looking for, what is the problem you're looking for. Type in that keyword on the Google search and say scholarly articles. After the title you write the scholarly articles. Google search will give you various scholarly articles which are available. I have put a screenshot in the next slides how it will look like. So whenever you are doing a literature search, there are some keywords or some which I would say is the tricks which you have to use it. First is have good keywords, good filter words. Don't use the whole title which is there in your mind. Just use 3 4 concepts which is going on in your mind and search for the literature papers. Then if you see here, the truncation is the question or the asterisk. These are the things which has to be used if you don't know what type of search you want. So if you want an elaborative search, you can use question mark of the keywords which you are looking for, and it will widen your search and it will give you more available articles which are there in the repository. So if you see here, I have put in the ResearchGate screen page, and there also it is mentioned that you can use and or not, asterisk or in brackets. So if you want to refine your search or if you want to widen in your search, you need to know the usage of these keywords, the truncation, the boolean words. These are called as boolean operators. Okay, so I have given an example that if you write some food tech question mark, it will let to you all type of articles available to food technology, food development, food techniques, where it is concentrating on food. So here's the Google Scholar screen page I was talking about. If you see, I have written tourism technology and competitive study. I have used the Boolean operator and. So when I clicked on search, it has given me to these searches, and on the right side you see it has given the web page where it is available. So it is given as like academia.edu, the bottom one. The topmost it is showing university name, then various other hub.com. So these are the things where you can find your pages. You have to just click it and you'll find it. So where there it is mentioned as PDF book, on the left side if you see, that also you can easily identify what type of secondary data it is. And to the very extreme of the left you see the year of publication. So it is written 2002 4, 2002 3, 2020. So that also you can click it. So these are called as advanced filter. You click it and you can go to the filtered words, whatever you have done, the web page will give you that kind of search. And if you see on the left, I have clicked on include citations, means I am looking for articles which have author names. Okay, so these are the advanced search mechanism. You have to play with it and make your life easy by using it. So as I was talking about the various Boolean operators, that is and, or, not. And in the previous slides, I've told you about truncation, that is the question mark, the asterisk. These things, if you use it, your search on the web for any secondary data becomes easy. Okay, I've already said that looking for paper which is not more than 5-year old, because you need to have data which is currently updated. Okay, and the best step to be followed is read the abstract first, read the gist first, and from the abstract, if you feel that this topic will help me in my further search of whatever topic you are looking for or the topic selected by your teachers, then do a skimming of it, means fast rapid reading of it. Read it in detail, and in the next slide I will show you that when you are reading in detail, these things you have to keep in mind, that you should write, you make a word document for your literature review and have these columns. So have these 7 columns and write down the author name, write down the year of publication, paper title, journal name, volume issued, the DOI. DOI means digital object identifier link, which is there in every journal article which you are referring, or the website link. Put it there so that in future if you want to access it again, it is there, and it helps in doing your referencing for your later on report writing work. Okay, so that is the last step of research process. And then looking for the research focus. Research focus means what was the research goal of that author. Okay, and what methodology they have used. So whether they have gone for experimental study, which I will be teaching in my next part 3. So what were the methods, what were the methodology they have used, write it down. You'll find it, there will be section in the paper. So the papers will generally start with abstract, introduction, methodology, research finding. Whatever I have written here are the sections of the articles, research papers, conclusions by the authors, limitations given by that author. Okay, so generally at the last, the author says that my study was limited to so and so, or maybe the sample area what they select, or maybe the methodology what they have done. And then they say further studies would be required. So just read these lines and put it here. Okay, scribble it down. And from these limitations, you will do some critical analysis. Okay, that is the last column which I have mentioned here. In this last column, you will do critical analysis, whether the paper was very well written, whether it has the complete methodology, whether it covered all the sample size. And with these limitations, you will make a research gap for your study. So, friends, please keep in mind, research gap, which is the last column which you will be writing, will help you to make problem statement for your study, which will become the first process. So, I have told in my part 1 that the problem definition and literature review are all interlinked. Okay, both are interlinked process. So, if you do a good literature review, you will get a good problem definition. Now, I will quickly let you know about what is citation and referencing, because it's a part of literature review. You need to know that if you are giving credit to the authors, that is called as citation. Okay, and the full details should be written in references. So whenever you are writing introduction, whenever you are proposing your title, you have to cite some other author's work. Okay, and that is generally written in brackets, so it has the author name, okay, and the year of publication. And references the full detail of the author. It tells about the name, the year of publication, the paper title, journal, okay, issue, the volume, the digital object identifier. So at least these two terminologies you should be clear when you are doing your literature review. So here's an example. How does a citation look like? So I've given an example. I've written a paragraph that sampling is known like this. And at the bottom, just to tell you, I have written the name of the author in red color. Okay, so I have written by Kothari CR Garg G 2014. This is called as in-text citation. And later on, the references should be given like this. Okay, so same thing you see Kothari CR Garg, okay, and 2014 with the research methodology. So these referencing has to be done in any type of research activities which you do because it's a part of research ethics. All right. Now, when I said referencing, referencing has various formats, okay, which I will tell you in the next slide. This is just an example. If you see here, the citation, how citation is being done and how the references looks like. So references format I was talking about, there are various types of references format. MLA, Harvard, APA, Oxford, Chicago, Vancouver. So based on your area of study, say for example, if you are doing studies in medical sciences, you can use Vancouver style where you have to give the citation in numeric form, and the numeric form will detailing will be given in the references at the last. Okay, if you are into social sciences, you will be using APA style, that is American Psychological Association style. So for all this guys, there are various websites which are available, like citationmachine.net, citeme.com, mendeley.com. You just need to use these website properly. Just click on the drop down arrow, what type of format you want, put in the author name or the book name. It will give you the whole referencing style. Okay, because this is a part of your literature review. Whenever you are doing literature review, if I go back and show you, say for example, mm, my slides are not moving. In the previous slide, I have shown you about how to do in the table the literature review. The first column where you are writing author name, detailing. So you can use this referencing format. So these are little easy tips for you to do your literature review in the easiest way. Okay. So I hope you understood little bit or in detail. Please let me know how much you understood. Thank you for watching. Do like, share, subscribe, comment guys, and support me. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.